So we're going to discuss fighting inside a vehicle, and what I'd like to discuss is the context of this. Is I'm obviously going to be selling something, so this is a deal gone bad. I'm going to be mic'd, and there's a takedown team nearby, so that's the context of me being an undercover officer. So when you end up inside a vehicle, you have to understand that a lot of the stuff that we learn to fight with somebody, it's in front of them. And once you're inside a car, you're going to be parallel to them like this, so all those tactics have to be modified. And for what we do is they all modify around one key technique or tactic, which is I'm going to plant my leg on the door jamb, and I'm going to make sure that's where it all begins. Now, prior to being there, when all this was happening, again, because of the context, I would have backed up the seat a couple inches and my seatbelt's off. It goes as it should go, everything's great, I can drive off. If it doesn't, I need to be able to turn and be able to deal with this. So I always do that as a habit. Next thing I want you to understand is when that weapon draw happens, it's going to be his right hand, even if he's left-handed, because he can't do this. So it's going to come from this side. I'm going to get on that gun as fast as possible when I see it. If it's already out, there's obviously going to be some kind of negotiation where I'm trying to get an angle on it, but that's what you're basically going to see. So when I do plant my foot on that door jamb, the technique is such that when I turn, I want to walk my feet up the door like if I'm wall climbing. So when I pivot, my other foot's going to weave underneath, and it's going to hit that door, and I'm going to turn my body. I want my body to be turned entirely like a plank or a buttress up against him. I want to push him into that door like if it was wall fighting. I want him against the wall. I want his head and chest over his hips, and I want him planted this way for the extraction team. So I'll show you what that looks like. Here. So once I decide to do this, I understand there's a risk involved. Anytime you do a disarm or any kind of movement towards a gun, you risk that. So I've made that decision. I'm going for that call. I notice there's a slight angle this way, so I'm coming in here. I'm not trying to take the gun away from here. What I'm trying to do is pin the weapon to him, and I'm going to grasp it as tight as I possibly can and tighten that up and try to turn the barrel towards him. But that's not my key technique, is actually just pinning him. And I'm going to extend my arms as much as possible behind the torque of my body moving in. So once I hit this, the idea is to race now and pivot and drive my head into his jawline. As I turn, I want both feet against that door, and I want to keep driving. Now, I'm being nice to Justin, but I'd be driving in, so he's in pain. From this position, you can see he can't hit me at all anymore, and I've completely controlled him. Even if I'm smaller, it's my legs that are working. If I need more power, you'll see me keep running into that door until my feet are even more planted, and I can almost drive through, I'll show you, this much further past him. Once I'm in there, the cue's been made for the extraction team. So once I'm in here, as soon as that door, I hear that door click, I've already called gun. As soon as that door clicks, I'm driving his head down and controlling the barrel.